Okay, I think we're about ready to begin here. Hello everyone. Oh, I got my fucking, hold on. Where is it? In-game, Discord widgets. There we go. Hello everyone. Welcome to Andrew the Bear. I'm just going to be 3D modeling today. Nothing super exciting. But, I'm basically near the end of my 3D modeling journey with this project, at least for the first version. So I wanted to maybe show some of you guys what's going on with it. So let me know if you're here, how your day's going, how your week's going. I have off all this week because, fun story here. I had a family reunion that was supposed to happen in 2020, and then 2020 happened, and so it didn't happen. Normally I have family reunions every 3 years. But it got pushed back, so it was supposed to happen in 2021, but then 2021 was still kind of 2020. So they pushed it back again, and then it was supposed to be this week, 2022, and they just decided last minute, they're like, yep, we got to cancel it again. So it's now going to be back on its 3-year schedule next year, 2023, unless 2023 is still kind of 2020-ish, you know, if you get what I'm saying. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, you know. So yeah, I've been working on this project, and some of you know about this project. In fact, anyone watching right now probably knows about this project, but here's what it looks like. It is a very large, well, I mean, probably actually small for 3D modeling wise, but it's a large for me. It's my first 3D modeling project really, outside of like when I was in high school, I guess, when 3D modeling was new, when I was using CAD and it was awful, and then a little bit in college when I basically had to learn how to model the most basic thing so I could learn rigging. And hello, Zerby. Zerby, hi to you as well, man. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in here for a little while. Hope things are good. But yeah, the last time I 3D modeled was college, and it was basically just to learn rigging so that I could learn how to then program using the bones in a model to like animate it. And that was 2008. Actually, it was probably 2007. So it's been quite a while. 15 years. Look how far we've gone. But I had to pick it back up again because I wanted to get this project done. Some of you may be wondering, hey Drew, what's with all those black dots? And let me just tell you, I have no idea. I have no idea what those mean. I have no idea why they exist. I don't know how to get rid of them. Unless I want to recreate this whole thing that is all black dots. No idea what those mean. So, they make it look a little weird, but just know that, you know, I don't know what that's about. No idea. I'm working on... Okay, I'm printing this piece right now. In fact, let me pull up BlueStacks real quick. This is... that was a ad for a game on Android, because BlueStacks is an Android emulator. If you don't know, it's a free Android emulator. You can grab it and then just have a free little Android thing. I'm going to pull up my camera on my 3D print right now, see if it's printing. It should be printing. It is not printing. Hold on. Oh, I didn't start printing. Okay. I'm gonna start printing once it warms up. So we'll go back to that in a little bit. I'll just leave that up and we'll go back to it in a little bit. But yeah, I'm 3D modeling this left piece today. And as you can see, most of it is done. These are all of the holes. Actually, let me show you what one of these looks like when they're printed out. Okay, so can this show up in front of the camera? Let's see. Kind of. Okay, let me turn off my camera effects. Okay, so this is a 3D modeled piece, and my 3D printer is only like 2 feet by 2 feet wide. So, or sorry, no, that's not right. It's hello, Sarah's Adams. Welcome in, man. I have like half my headphone off on the one side, so like it didn't sound real at all because of that. Anyway, my 3D printer is about this wide, a little bit wider than that. And so I have to make this, the whole thing. Okay, so let me actually start from the beginning. The lights I'm using look like this. They're there are they're RGB LEDs. They are addressable, and they look like these little like bullet-shaped things. Sorry, Twitch. They're bullet-shaped. And so I'm basing the entire size of the project around these because everything has to basically. This is the one thing I can't resize, essentially. So the walls of the project. I'll explain what the walls are in a little bit. But all these little trenches you see here fit. It's basically a trench in the top, and you can kind of see it here. There's a bunch of them. And L wire, so glowing wire, goes into here. And so fortunately, that lines up really well with the size of these LEDs and makes for a pretty good look. But then the rest of the project, basically, like if an LED is this diameter, then I have to base the entire project on that. And based on that and the size of a Pac-Man board, because it's a Pac-Man game, in terms of how many LEDs have to go across, it ended up being a little over, it's 27 inches or something like that, a little over 2 feet each way, which means I couldn't print it all in one piece. So it's actually printed in 3x3 pieces, as you can see here. And then they all lock into each other using, this one doesn't have it, it's actually a failure that I messed up on a while ago. Oh no, it does have it, yeah. So these tabs go into these slots in the other pieces, and it all locks together, and then I'm going to use super glue and glue it all into one piece. And that, what you just heard, is like a pile. I wonder if you can see it. Hold on. Yeah, so this down here, this is a pile of mistakes that I've made. And then the one that is, hi Boomer, the one that is correct, boom, we can't move, buddy. This is 6 pieces out of the 9. And they're locked together but not glued yet. And when I have it all ready, I'm going to glue it all together. And then I have to make these back pieces, which I don't have any here. Yeah, the back pieces just look like this. They're basically just a little bowl that have screw holes in the corner. And then I'm going to screw onto the back plates of these and lock all the electronics and all the lights and all the microcontroller and all the batteries and the wiring and stuff all inside. So I'm going to be working on that today. Hopefully I don't have to explain that again later. But yeah, that's what I'm working on today. So I got to pull up. Oh, no, that's not it. That's switch. pacNR 9 parts. So this is a really tiny, I don't know why I made it so tiny, diagram of the wiring and basically everything inside this project. I basically need to remember like where all the power lines are going to go on the 9 pieces. So there's like this split into 9 pieces. And then all of the these flashing ones right here that are like this puke yellow, that's all the L wire trenches that go under the project. So if you like turned it around, it'd basically be like when the L wire goes down into the bottom of it, it goes along these trenches. And I had to map where those go. All the orange and red are power lines. All the green is a data line. So it needs a trench there as well. This blue thing up here is a power button. That, oh dude, this is actually the coolest part of my project. I've never gotten to use one of these before. And it's like a really cool little button that's like tactical feedback. Super excited to use this. It's going to look so nice. But it involves 3D printing, which I'm all new to, and 3D modeling, which I'm very new to. So everything you see here, I learned how to do in the last month. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made so many mistakes. It's actually disgusting how many mistakes I've made. But I've learned a lot. And hopefully I will take everything I learned and hold on to it for a little while and be able to adapt this project a little bit more once the first version of it is done. And make it even better. Some improvements I want is like right now these aren't even all the same size because I didn't want any of the circles to like be in the middle of a cut. I didn't want to get cut and have to be like glued together and all that. So some of them, some of these blocks are not the same size as all the other blocks, which means all the backing plates, all these, some of them are different sizes, and I'd like them to all just be one size so I can just have a standard size that I can just print as many of them as I need. Not have to worry about if I have the right one for the right backing. They'll all just be the same size. That'll be great. So hopefully I can improve that. I can also maybe improve how long wires go. Like for example, right here, this right here, what you're seeing is like holes that go through from the bottom to the top. And there's an upper trench here and a lower trench here. So it basically comes through the lower trench, up all the way around the upper trench, then back down this hole and down this other trench. But what I really should have done here, this is such a small thing. Let me just explain. When you're 3D modeling for wiring, really small thing that annoyed the hell out of me. Right after I finished this, I realized that if I had taken this hole and put it over here and made it so you go down this trench, then to the right instead of to the left, then this trench right here could have started here and just shortened the distance that the wire needs to go, which means I have a higher chance of having to use less of these L wires. As soon as I finished it, I was like, oh, fuck it. Like, I was just so mad that I had screwed it up. But all those things, all those little things, there's a ton of little tiny things.
I'm gonna come.
And hopefully in the future versions of this project, I will fix them all up and it'll be so nice and so clean. Also, this should be in the middle of these two, like right in the middle. I have no idea why it isn't. I'm going to fix that. That's awful. This is really bad. This should be centered between the two. I can fix that right now, actually. I have no idea how I fucked that up. That's really bad. Okay, so make a line between the two. That way I can make a point right at the... Oh, hold on. Line right here. So this actually points out the center. And what I did here is I made the center point... Instead of basing around the center point, I think what I did here is I put that bottom line on the center point. So what I need to do... Grab these, grab those... And what I'm going to try to do is just move them. Now, in 3D modeling, all these things are like... Oh, shit, I did not grab all of them. Hold on. Grab this. Okay, grab that, and that. So I should have all the pieces I need. If I hit move, don't know why it does that. Oh, it's probably because these... Okay, these are like restrictions. These are constraints. So we get rid of these. Get rid of that too. And hopefully, now I can just move these four... And these constraints over here will keep these things connected to them, which will move the whole thing down. And hopefully that will work. No, it does not. Okay. So what I need to do here is I need to delete. First, I need to confirm that the center point is the center point between these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these four. Make another line there. That's the center point right there. So I'm going to grab this. Put a line to here. Now these lines over here are actually at a different height than the one I just made. They're like all the way up at like 1.275 or something like that, and this is down to 0. So, what am I doing? Okay. I don't have to worry about them like being connected now. I just need, if I hit top, they'll line up. God damn. They'll line up and I'll see what I did wrong here. So if I grab these, as you can see, yeah, I just need to move them down 0.05, but I can't because they're connected to this other cord. So I need to right click, delete the coincident, delete the coincident. How long is this? 0.1. So there should be another one there. Delete that coincident. I grab all three. I should be able to move them now. Nope, still can't. Okay. What if I just go and delete coincident again? So the coincident is like the piece that connects it to a piece that it's touching, and I hate that object because it can I not move this? I can't move that. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete that piece. I'm going to try to move this by itself. Okay, I can move this, but the coincident is basically like the connection between two pieces, so that one can't delete either. Okay, so I'm just going to delete both of them, and then I moved it. Is it at the right height? It is. I'll just remake them. I know what length they are. They're 0.0375. And then from here, 0.0375. And delete that. and delete that. Okay. So now if I go to top, they're going to line up right here on this edge. You can kind of see them. They're blue. They're hard to see because everything in this program is made in a way that is not great. So what you end up getting is something like this, where if they overlap, you can't see the color of the line because this one is green because it's fixed, and this one's blue. What they really should have done is like a really darker green or something. The program looks very complicated. This program is, it's not so much that it's complicated, it's that it's really non-intuitive and broken in ways that are really annoying. So hopefully I won't have to use it too much in the future, but you know, I might, because there's not a lot of alternatives that are free, and I like free stuff. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to, these are at the same height, so I can just take a line from one and move them to the other, and as long as I keep this at 180 degrees, you can see at the top, you can't really see it, it's up near the finish sketch button at the top. It's highlighted, it's 180 degrees. You want it to be it is free, yeah. Although it's free in the sense of they do microtransactions. They want you to, like, if you want more than 10 files to work with and not to put your entire project in one file like I've done, you need to like pay for it. So you lose out on some things by making it free. Anyway, if the angle here is 90, 180, 270 or 0 or 360, then you know it's going to be a straight line, and you want that basically on my entire project is straight lines except for the circles here. It's all straight lines and angles between straight lines. So this tells me the distance between those 2 points on the x-axis is 1.6625. You can see right in the center there. So I'm just going to save that. Okay, and when you hit exit there, it was like recalculating a bunch of things to like figure out how to handle it. Now I'm just going to make lines from here on the new lines that should exist at that length. As you can see, they don't line up to the angles because I need to remove the angles to a new location. So now that I have these, I can say, okay, well, how far is the distance on the y-axis between these two? And it's literally 0.5. So if I grab this and delete the coincident, grab this, delete the coincident, this, delete the coincident, this, delete the coincident, I should be able to grab these now and move them down, even though they're connected to the pieces above them. But I cannot. As you can see, nothing came up that was like a pull down. If you can move them, something comes up. So let me try to move just this. No, can't do it at all. Okay. Get rid of these constraints. These black lines are constraints that basically say if you change something, the one thing that won't change is like the length of that. And it's like, okay, you want that length to change. You don't want the constraints. This program puts in constraints if you do anything. It's incredibly annoying. Okay, so normally what I would do is I would find the length of this and say 0.475 is down here. I can just delete that, delete this, make a new one that is 0. I've already forgotten. Hold on. It's 0.475. Okay, and it needs to move down 0.05. So because it's 475, I'm just going to change it to 525 and make a new angle, and it should connect them. 0.525, make sure it's the right angle, 90 degrees. And then I'm going to fillet, I think it's fillet, not fillet. And it's 0.1 is, oh wait, no, sorry, it's not 0.1, it's 0.625. 0.0625, got it. Okay, the reason it's 0.625, which I had to find out the math on all this stuff, is that oh my god, welcome in, Foxy BB. The reason it is that way is because if the box between the points is a width and height of 0.1, then the fillet should be 0.1. And the box between these is 0.065. And this is going to be 0.1 right here. So let's see what this is. 5125. Okay, so we're going to do 5625. Yeah, I've been working on this project. Technically speaking, I've been working on this project for 6 years.
W.
Oh my God! Hi, thank you. 6125. But this is possibly the last, like the very final version of this program that I'm making, this like project. So I'm really excited to possibly have like the first rendition of the last version of this project and really clear it up. We're going to F up some poor souls day and SOT. Sarah's had a really bad day. Dude, fuck them up. Go fuck them up. You got this. 0.65, so that's going to be 0.7. Why does it look like those are converging? Hold on. Nope, that's correct. Okay. Get rid of these constraints.
Wow. WWW.
0.2375. WWW. Okay, so if I hit top now, it should line up with the side. Should be right in the center. That's fixed. Now you might be saying, Drew, you just complained that this dot here was on the wrong side. Why didn't you just fix that at the same time? That would take a lot longer, and we're not going to do that on stream because it would just take way too long. Just select that. Oh, okay, can't do that. I'm going to fix this. Fixing as in like affixing it to a position so it can't be moved. So if you fix it, it goes green, and basically it's way harder to change it, which is great because I don't want it to change. So I can just leave it like that. So we're going to move over and finish this sketch and open up the bottom left sketch. Okay. So if you look at this, I have to create a an L-wire trench, a bottom trench over here. I already have all the top trenches. So if you look at these are the top trenches here. Here and here and here. And those are all created correctly, I believe. Hello, kitty. Hey. And this like puke yellow brown horrible thing right here is a bottom trench. I'm going to create that, and then here where it overlaps the trenches, I'm going to create a hole going through the trenches for the L-wire to go up to the top trenches. Here I have to create a power trench, which is going to go over the L-wire trench. That's a whole thing on its own. So first things first, let's get right to it. Okay, so if you look at this right here and that, this goes between the last two on the right, and this one goes through the next two. So, oh yeah, here's the 3D print. It's actually it's happening right now, and it's looking good. So I'm not going to go down and adjust it. I think it's fine. Yeah, it looks fine. I am not going to worry about it right now. The last one I made, my 3D printer, dude, I'm learning 3D printing, and the hardest part is that 3D printers are finicky as hell. And my 3D printing spool, like of the plastic that goes through it, just cut. It wouldn't keep going through, and it just broke, and then nothing was happening. So I have like a piece, which is the piece I made today. I think it's this one. And it started printing, and then it got to about this height, and then it just stopped printing because nothing was coming through it anymore. And it was like 10 hours later, I realized that, oh, the printer head's up here instead of down here, which means it just stopped putting plastic out and kept going around because it doesn't know that plastic isn't going through it. It has no idea. It tries to push plastic through, and if it fails, there's no way to know. And also, if I'm sitting there watching it, even if I knew, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't like stop it and fix the plastic and then start it up again, because if I miss it for 1 minute, the printer head just in a different place, and I can't tell it to go back. It doesn't know where it started failing. So it's been that's why I have a pile of mistakes over here, and I'm keeping the pile of mistakes specifically to teach me not to make the same mistakes. But sometimes it's not me. Sometimes it's the printer. So oh well. I will come back to that later another time. Okay, so because the power line is going to go down through here between these two, and the bottom trench for the L wire is going to go down between these two. here. Because we're making this piece here. The bottom trench is also going to come in just above this one right here. So it's going to come in through here, going to go down through here, and they're going to overlap here. So I'm going to start working on that. Got to create a line here, line from the center to here, delete that. Okay, so now I have the point that should be the center of the power line, and power lines are 0.2 wide. So I'm going to do a thing over here, 0.1, and then because I want it to be a singular line, I'm going to do 0.2, the opposite direction, and get rid of the 1. Okay. Now this guy here is now connected on the 0 height, so I gotta fix that up. Hold on, actually, there we go. So I'm gonna move. It doesn't need to be fixed. It's not connected to anything, so I can just grab this and move this up to, I think it's 1.15. Let me see if that's correct real quick. I have like a spreadsheet here of just data, and part of it is the model extrusions, like how it takes the model and makes it into how it takes the model graphing data and turns it into an actual model. So some of this information is going to seem a little confusing, but the bottom trench retainer is at 1.15, and that's what I really need to know right now. So that is correct. Move it there. Okay. Go back to top. Now, because it's on the same X and Y, it's going to line up with this line, but it's actually 1.5 above it if you look at it like that. Okay. So now because I have that, I can draw a line going down, and it's going to go all the way down to the second to last here. So it's going to go down to this guy right here. I think I want it to go down to like halfway between them. The reason this power line exists is because power on a large scale. So like if you're powering 256 lights and you're sending data down the line as well, and you just supply power at the beginning of the light, the power won't reach the end unless it's a very high amperage. So what you want to do is you want to supply power on the same circuit like every 50 lights. And to do that, I have certain places where this light right here is like probably light 150. And so every 50 lights, I just have a supply line going to it. So I'm going to move this up to the same height, even though this line's going to get deleted. So 1.15. And now I can just create a line between the two at 90 degrees. 2.625 is the height. That sounds correct. You don't want it to be a long trailing number. You want it to be a good even number. Not even, but like, you know, just a nice round number. Now I can delete this. And now I have a line right to where I want this thing to go. So I have this, and I'm going to make it 0.0375. I'm going to give a little trench on the outside. Oh, that did not create. Hold on. 0.0375. And as you can see, it's going to overlap with this. Oh, wait, hold on. This has got to be a certain. Like, hold on. I have to make a line for it to meet over here so that I can just create an even connection. 0.375. Delete these constraints. I don't need them. I really wish I wouldn't create them, honestly. I don't like them at all. Now I can just connect them because they're, you know, 2 lines, 2 points. The reason I'm making these is that the trenches go on the outside of the. So this right here isn't actually going to be anything. It's going to be empty space. And this thing to the side of it is actually what's going to be jutting out, so the power line goes between these things here. This is just here to make sure that if something gets filled in the center, like if it overlaps these circles, for example, then it will. God, I'm like blanking. It will empty those back out. And we'll see later that this overlap is kind of misleading. It doesn't actually overlap in the way it looks like it's overlapping right here. I'll line these two up, delete the constraint, and then I'm going to hit top and show you that, like, as you can see, it's overlapping these. And if you look at, actually, I'll just show you the model. Okay, so this is middle. These circles are the ports that the lights are going to flow into. I'm going to glue them in once they're in with like some black hot glue maybe. But these ports are here, and they basically jut out enough that they can provide stability for the lights to flow into and to get, glued into there. What is this? Wait, what is this? Hold on. There shouldn't be a whole... hold on. Oh, please tell me that doesn't exist on the actual thing. Oh my god, it does. Oh no. One of the ports is missing. One of the tubes. That's okay. I can fix that. I can fix that without reprinting this whole thing. That's okay. That is hilarious. I didn't notice that before. I'll fix that. That is just funny. I'm going to fix that right now in the model, so that if I ever reprint it, it'll just be fixed. There's not even a... Okay. These are 0.875 away from each other. Fix it, and then finish the sketch, and then... But yeah, just in case I ever reprint this, I would like it to be correct. So I'm going to fix this by showing middle, okay. Make it 1.5, join, and then, again, and 0.75, cut. Hold on. Ah! Oh, okay, that's what I did. I accidentally grabbed the model part and not the extruded part. That's not what I want. Okay, 0.75, and it's going to cut into it. And now it should be even with the rest. There we go. Yeah, I accidentally have a hole now in that middle that doesn't have a tube. So if I try to put the LED in there and glue it in, it won't be stable. So I'm going to have to print out just a tube at some point and super glue it in that spot, which should be stable enough. Super gluing plastic, it like bonds. So I'm not too worried about it, but that's hilarious that I screwed that up. Let me remember to export that STL real quick so that I don't have to accidentally... I don't have to come back to this later and be like, oh, I accidentally printed the old version of the middle piece. So yeah. Exporting to STL just allows me to like toss this to my 3D printer, or to if you're into games and you like want to do your own 3D modeling for simple stuff, you can also toss STLs into Unity or Unreal. You can toss it into most game engines, or even just load them simply with like if you program 3D rendering directly. You can generally load STLs super simple. So STLs are like all around just a really basic 3D model, and sometimes rigging in bones. And I've learned that, I guess. I've learned how to like throw them into Unity and stuff, which is nice. I'm gonna show these. So this is my collection of 3D printed, 3D printable stuff, and I'm gonna toss it over into my. I'm using a remote desktop right now, because I have a little mini PC downstairs next to my 3D printer, and it makes it really easy for me to just toss stuff down here and then 3D print it using Ultimate Cura, which is also a free program, by the way. It's free because they sell 3D printers, which are not free. So they have their software, which is free to use with even printers that aren't theirs. Like, I don't have an Ultimaker. I have a Creality C10S. I don't remember what it's fucking called. Anyway, I don't have their printer, but their printer software works with any printer, essentially. So it's free, which is really nice. So everything I'm doing right now, anyone can do for free. And I've learned it all using like YouTube as a guide. So it's available. If anyone wants to learn 3D printing, I can help you out with the same way I learned. Not great at it yet, but you know, if I can learn, you can learn. Oh, that's the wrong sketch. Hold on. I need bottom left. Okay, so we're back on bottom left. To the top. Okay. So we have this trench. I can't believe I forgot that middle piece. We have this trench. And I'm going to fix them all in place. Fix. Okay, so I think what just happened. Oh my god! That's what the black dots are! They're fixed dots. Oh! Oh, that's good. Oh my god, I'm so excited to learn that. Oh, I'm so happy I just learned that on stream. Oh my god, that's great. Okay, that means I can get rid of them. There's so many here. It's what I must have done is I must have selected the whole thing, which selects not just the lines, but also the dots, which are the points, the vertices. And I fixed the whole thing thinking I was just fixing the lines, but I fixed the dots. Okay, I'm gonna remove those all later. I'm so happy. I did not know how to get rid of those. Okay, so we have one trench here. The problem with this, and really something I can't believe I messed up, is that I have to create another trench going the opposite direction, which overlaps it, which means that these lines are all going to be deleted and like reformed. They need to exist right now because they're... I'll show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the under trench come in here. I'm not sure how far up I should bring it. Hold on. This is 0.6. This is 0.6. I'm going to do maybe at the 0.7 line. That way it's 0.08. Yeah. It won't overlap with this until it turns, which is good. So I'm just going to say 0.7. And then I'm going to put another line from here to here. Delete the first line. Now I know that this line is 0.7 ahead above right here. So I can go over to here. Make it half the width of the under trench. And I'm going to delete the coincident and move it up to the right height, which is 1.15. Okay, so it should be at the same height now as this other trench. It is, I believe, right here. Yep, okay. What I really like about this, by the way, is you can see this box up at the top. You can just like change which position you're viewing it from. But you can also do like halfway between. You can also do like weird corner piece. Like you can click this corner. There's not a lot of things about this program that I really love, but this and how they designed this UI feature, love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so if this is at 7.625 and this is at 7.225, then it's just 0.4 between them. So I'm going to... You can't... Okay, so if you're above on top, specifically on top, you can't touch any dot. You can't like auto connect and like snap to any dot that isn't on the 0 axis or the 0 height for Z. So you have to like move this slightly and then you can touch it. 0.4. Now if I hit top, this should line up at the edge right here. Okay, good. So now I can bring this to 0.1 up, then make another one from that 0.0375, another one below it as well, 0.0375. These are going to be the starters for the trench that's going to go, and the centerpiece. So the trench walls, and this is going to be the trench going this way. From here, I need to create another line going up. Now this line right here needs to be raised up to the right height. Ooh. Why does it matter? Okay, good. 5.9125. It's getting to be like weird numbers, like 4 numbers after the decimal is like Once it starts getting so much that it starts rounding, it becomes a problem. But hopefully it won't happen. Drew, hello, hello, Hateful Box, how are you? Yes, I am Drew. I'm 3D modeling today. I'm doing work on my project. 1.7125, okay. I have it set so that it shows me like 6 numbers after the decimal, so it's not a worry just yet. But if I start going really weird and I get like a bunch of decimals, it starts rounding and then things get really strange, and I don't really like that. 0.1. Okay, so what this line represented is where it would go all the way to the point where it'll be when it turns. So I need to then take it 0.1 away from that and go all the way to the edge here. Boom. Okay. So now I need to take this length, 1.6125, and build right off this, 1.6125, and do the other 3 lines. Now, these overlap points are a problem. This right here, this is the problem. So we're going to fix this up by deleting this, bringing this to here, and it snaps right onto where it meets this piece. And then I'll do the same thing from the bottom. And now I can delete this one here and do the same thing from this side. And then this one here and do the same thing from this side. Okay. Now, I'm going to create some lines that are just going to be used for snapping. Do the same thing here. Build this to that. Build that to that. And we can get rid of these lines and over 6.65 and 6.0125. So that's 6375. 0.6375. Is that correct? That is not correct. Okay, hold on. 6.65 minus 6.0125 is 6375. Okay, so then, oh, I did 6275. That's why. Okay. So we're gonna line that up. Do the same thing over here. 0.6375. Get rid of these constraints because they are useless to us and actually get in the way. And then this line right here, so this goes right through the center. This is a problem. We need to get, we're going to rebuild that line and bring it right to where it meets this guy right here. And then we need to do the same thing from the other side. And then do the same thing for the bottom pieces. So line between these two, get rid of this line, build like that, and then do another one here to here. Wait. What is happening? Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. So now these blue lines are correct, but now the green lines seem to be fixed. So we're going to real quick do that. And I'll explain what this does in a second because it's actually going to be finished in one little sec. Okay, so now what we've created here, you look at it like this, is basically a cross formation so that these two tracks aren't overlapping in a way that they'll block each other. They're just sort of two intersecting roads that the wires are going to take. So that looks like it's done. And now, if I go to the center here, okay, so if you look at this right here, this piece right here, this orange power line, that's complete. That is from here to here. It's basically a trench the power line is just going to sit in. I'm going to glue the power line down. And then this trench over here, which is a little thinner, is for an L wire to go underneath. It's just going to go and like go probably actually under the power line and just go right through. And it needs to move to a certain number of places. So right now it's here. Oop, that's coming along good. Okay. Wait. Is it coming along good? What is happening right there? I'm going to hit you guys with a be right back. I'm just going to go and make sure that everything's at the right height down there. If I need to make some quick adjustments, I will do that. So I'll be right back. Okay, everything looks good. Hey, Phil Box, he just came in and said my name and then he just left. Everything looks good. So we're gonna come back. Okay. So what I'm seeing there on the screen, actually it's kind of hard to see right now, is just parts that didn't get printed. I thought it was like parts that were too shiny, which means that they are too thin, which means that the extruder is too close to the bed on the 3D printer. And there is a spot that is kind of like that, but I raised the bed slightly on that corner and it should be fixed. Here's hoping, because I don't need to do another 27-hour print and have it not come out. That would be awful, and it's happened far too many times. Anyway, we'll come back to that later. So this trench right here is coming actually above this. If you can look at that, this pink line here is the upper trench. And this yellow-brown line here is the lower trench, and it's kind of above where you see it here on this. And it's going to go through here. But first it has to create a hole in this, then another hole in this, and then one last in this. So let's do that. So if you look at this right here, these 4 lines right here are kind of a mistake, right? Because if I want to turn this, it's already going to be too low if I do a regular turn. So what I want to do instead is I'm going to move these lines back a little bit after I create the holes that will be for the L wire. Yeah. And once I do that, I can just turn these sections so they line up. So what I'm going to do, I know this doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but it will in a second, I promise. Maybe. I don't actually promise. Okay. So that line represents the center point between these two. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to delete the coincident, and I'm going to move it up to 0.9, which is where the through holes go. So the lines that go from the lower trenches to the upper trenches. 0.9. Okay. Now go to the top and how am I going to do this? Okay, no, I got it. So this height is 17.7125. And this, oh god. Okay. Hold on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and I'm going to do a line up to 0.55. The reason I'm doing 0.55 is because 0.5 is the distance between the center on the y-axis, the difference between the center of a hole, which is these guys right here, to the 0.5 to the inside part of the trench, this trench here, and the outside is 0.6 because they're 0.1 distance away. So I'm going to put 0.55. It should be right in the middle of the two lines. And it doesn't look like it right here because I'm not in the top formation, but there, right in the center. Now I can grab this other line and just delete it. Now, I can just branch off from there. And I'll know that I'm in the right spot. So I'm going to do 0.05 this way, 0.05 the other way, and make a hole at 0.12. And they're going to overlap because they are 0.1 away from each other, but they are 0.12 size. And then I'm going to delete that, and delete that, and delete that. Okay. So now at 0.9 we have these two holes, which I'm going to use to like create a hole that goes from the bottom trench up through to the top trench, which is for the L wire to go basically down into the center of the box, then move around through the trenches, then go back up into another trench and all along and be glued into that upper trench, and then go back down into the bottom of the box again. So it's nice and hidden and clean. It's going to look so nice. I wish I could show you guys what it looks like when it's all put together, but that is a future stream because it's not all put together just yet. I do have, actually there is something I can show you. Yeah, let me bring this over here so I don't accidentally show you some weird shit. Give me a sec. Yeah, okay, so this is what it kind of looks like when it's done. This is a 6-foot by 7-foot version of my game that I built with a wood CNC router, which I had to learn for that project, and lights that are like they're big. They're like an inch diameter. They're like the kind of lights you see on carnival rides, and they had to be CNC milled like into a slot had to be built so they could slide in, and then the whole thing's powered with like a generator. It's ridiculous. So anyway, this is like what that kind of looks like, and then this picture here is kind of a better image of it. Maybe this one here would be a better image of it. This is me playing in my ridiculous jacket. You can't see the colors of the lights properly in this picture because the walls, they don't block it from your actual vision, but from a camera, they block out the light because they're all UV blue. So yeah, it'll kind of look like that when it's done. Hopefully, if I did it right. Man, there's so much to this project. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to build a box around these that is at 1.15, and then use that box to line up with the trench that you already see there by pushing the lines back and then creating an angle turn, and then just gonna fix it up. Just gonna fix it up. Okay, you don't need to know the fine details. Just fixing it up. So let's start by creating a box out of here. Get rid of that. And okay. What am I doing? What am I... Oh, hold on. I'm making a mistake because I'm building all of these at the 0.9 level that I built the holes at. I actually need to get rid of everything except for this one line, move that line up, and then build off of that line. Because otherwise everything will be at the wrong height, and if it locks to that height because of the other objects it's touching, it becomes very hard to move in this project, in this program. So we're going to move it up to here, 0.25 above 0.9, so now it's at 0.125. Or sorry, 1.15, which is where I want everything. And if I build off of it now, everything should be in the right... What is happening? Everything should be in the right spot. You'll sometimes see that everything moves really slow on my screen. That is actually Fusion 360 attempting to do the one thing it's supposed to do right and failing, which is 3D print fast, or 3D model fast. So that's not screen lag from like Twitch. That's actually Fusion 360 not knowing what the hell it's doing. There are a lot of cases where it doesn't know what it's doing, though, so there's that. Okay, get rid of all these constraints. I really hate that it just automatically creates these constraints because I always just have to remove them. Anyway, now, if I go to the front, for example, these are lined up. These are the two circles or squares around the holes. These are the holes. Doesn't look like these line up correctly, but I think they have to. Hold on. Okay, no, it's fine. If I go to the top, they're right around them perfectly, okay. And now, I need to create a 45-degree angle curve up to these lines here. Fortunately, we're all on the same level now, so I should be able to just grab this, change my angle to 45, and then, when we match, just click. Boom, okay. I can get rid of that and build a new line to that connection point, and that's the first of the lines. I have to do this a bunch, though. So, 5, line it up. Oop, nope. Get rid of that. Connection point to connection point. Okay. This here goes to trench width. Build another right there. Now all these constraints are fine. I'm good with angle constraints. I just hate width constraints, like line size constraints. It's like completely unnecessary fusion, and I wish there was just a way to turn it off that was obvious to me, but it's not. I couldn't find it actually. It's very frustrating at times. Okay, so now those are lined up, which means that now this trench will go down here, and then I'll just have a turn, and that should be fine. I should be able to bend the L wire, and that turn will lead it right to this hole. And then the upper trench, it'll go around. You can kind of see it just goes to the end here, but the other pieces make a trench that goes all the way around. It'll come back down, it'll go back down into this hole, so I need to continue off of this hole here. And then, is this good? Is that okay? I think that's okay. Alright, and this one is going to go straight. Oh, I know what I fucked up. Okay. Let's see if this works. I'm going to select everything here. And I'm going to try to move it 0.05 to the right. And if I can do that, oh, yes. Oh, my God. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you. Okay, that just saved me a ton of time. Because I had made this so that the center point here was actually the center point between the two holes, but I didn't want that. What I wanted is the center point to be the center point of this hole, so that, because this doesn't need to be centered. This just goes right in, and then when this goes down, I want it to be centered, so I don't need a 2-lane, I need a 1-lane, so I'm really glad I could do that. I know this doesn't make a lot of sense, by the way, and I apologize if this is confusing. I'm really just vocalizing it for myself. I hope if you guys have any questions, you should just ask. Okay, so 0.0625. Get rid of that and that and that and that. Okay, so 1. I'm gonna make all these outer trench pieces. The reason I'm making it in smaller pieces instead of building it as like one large piece that is just the right size is I want to be able to get rid of, like, I want to be able to grab the last part of the trench that is like the width of the trench here. So what is this? Hold on. Get rid of that. More constraints. Like this is 0.2375, but instead I made 0.1, 0.1, and 0.375. It's because if something's wrong, I want to be able to grab the part that is like one portion, you know? Hard to describe, actually. Honestly, I'm not even going to try to describe that any further. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it helps the process a lot. Okay, so from here, I need to move down to this next one here. So this is at 18.8125. I grab that on my calculator. 8125. That is the top line of this next trench. And the top piece here is at 17.8125. So minus 17.8125. Oh, it's literally 1 away. That makes sense because like I said, from here to here is 0.5, so from here to here is going to be 1. And it doesn't look like it right here, but if you go to top, it does. Now they're equal. So that means that this needs to be 1.1 length. 90 degrees. That way it'll go right over here and line up with the bottom of the trench. And then this right here needs the same thing. It needs to be 1 length. What's great about it is that you can start the line and then you can change the perspective and see how it lines up that way. Oh, that's incorrect. Yeah, okay. So this needs to be 1.065. There we go. Okay. Because it would have been 1.1, but it's already 0.0375 away from here, so let me know if I'm boring you with the details, by the way. Okay, so now I need to take this center point here and move down 1.1. There we go. And then get rid of that constraint and do the same thing for the other part of the box. 1.1. Okay. Now I should be able to go 0.0375 farther. These are incorrect. No, these are incorrect. Okay. So right now this is 1.1, but the thing is there's going to be a circle here and there's going to be another circle here. So actually this needs to stop about 0.1375 shorter. So right now it's 1.1. It needs to be 0.9625. Math, dude. There's so much math in this. 1.1, so it needs the same. No, it just needs to be. This needs to be 1. Okay. Okay. You'll understand why in a second. It's not super important at the moment. This needs to be copied, and the copy needs to be moved down -1, right? Hold on. -1.1. Then we're going to create a copy of that, move it to the left, 0.1. So they're going to overlap, same as before. Now you can kind of see why these trenches, if you understand what the trenches are, you can kind of see why the trenches need to be stopped and it doesn't need to go all the way through. Okay, so I feel like I'm probably boring the hell out of some of you because this is all very confusing. I know that. I'm very aware of that. This is 1.065. That's not correct. It's 0.165. No, 0.275. Okay. That's not correct either because this is going to go down, not left. Okay. So this needs to go over 0.1. Perfect. Okay. I'm like creating the trench that goes around this hole in the center. All very confusing. I'm aware. I promise you I'm just as confused sometimes. Okay. 0.0625? No. 0.1. Top. That's correct. This trench is going to go down here, then this from here and here is going to go down to create another trench. And then we're going to go through here and get to this guy here and put 2 more holes in there. So if we're here, I wonder if I can make the other holes right now. Just kind of like get them out of the way. So if I copy this and I go down okay. So if I'm at here, minus 0.55. Then I need to go down 275. Oop. Minus. And then, no, that's not right either. If I'm at 0.55, then it's, I want to go down to 0.875. So it's 325. Okay, so now I should be lined up with this guy right here. And then if I go this way, okay,